Okay, we're back at the Two Cat Kitchen, and we are actually in Aria and Bryce's kitchen. Guys, thanks for joining us on the Two Cat Kitchen for this fantastic episode. And you guys are going to help us to make, or you're going to show us how to make apple pie, or your version of apple pie. And you've been making apple pie for a while?
Yes.
Okay. That's good to know. And so let's just get right into it. I guess we have some ingredients here, which is good. So what do we need for ingredients?
So for the crust, you need all-purpose flour. I guess you could do whole wheat with a mixed. We're doing all-purpose flour.
All-purpose flour.
Some salt.
All right, you got a big thing of salt there, but we don't need all that, right?
We're not going to need all this salt. We're only going to need like a teaspoon for a double crust.
Okay. And what else do we have? Butter.
And then butter. It's unsalted, but you can do salt if you only have
Yeah, I never
butter.
figured that out, the difference between, unsalted has no salt in it, right?
Right.
Yeah, but it's such a
But
marvel.
it's
It's
not
so.
much salt.
Yeah.
People like using unsalted for baking, but I don't think it's ever thrown us off. Be like, oh no, there's too much salt.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right. I'm glad we cleared that up. Thank
Yes.
you. All right, so now we got butter, we got salt.
And then you're going to need some water, like a third of a cup of water.
Water.
Make
Okay,
it all
here we
come
go.
together.
How exciting. So we're measuring out the flour.
It's going to be 2.5 cups.
2.5 cups.
We're going to let those puppies in.
Okay, 2.5 cups flour.
And then a teaspoon of salt.
Teaspoon of salt.
I'm going to whisk it together
Whisking it together.
so that it's not all in one spot.
Beautiful.
Yes, yes, yes. And then we'll need the butter.
Butter. Now, is the butter like softened in some way, or is it not?
No, you really want it to be like as cold as possible, actually. Some people take it right from the freezer and shave it in.
Very important. Yes, I think that's
You want to kind of handle it as little as you can.
okay.
The same with the water. You want when you add the water to be pretty cold.
And you're cutting it into like little chunks,
Little
maybe
cubes, yeah.
cubes. Interesting. Very good.
This is going to take a little bit.
Okay.
Bryce, maybe you
want me
should
to
say
join in?
something about that this thing I have.
Oh, yeah. That's a, what do they call it? Pastry cutter.
Yeah.
Pastry cutter.
It's for cutting in butter to flour.
Oh, I get it. Cutting in.
Or I
makes
used to
sense.
prefer and always maintain that you had to do it with a fork, and the fork was good. But this is kind of handy. So, the idea is you are working the butter into the flour, not making it all cohesive and consistent. There's buttery bits and there's floury bits, but then it all comes together.
Interesting. That's great. Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's the point with the cold butter too, is you don't want it to be like warm, like making a cookie. You want it to be, basically like flattened out bits of butter with flour stuck around it. So it helps it be flaky.
Okay. Because we want the flaky crust.
Yeah, you
Yes.
want flaky crust.
All right. Time to mix the butter. Mixing the butter.
Just to get it in there. And now I'm going to use this.
The butter thingy.
If you don't have one of these, you can use a fork. But if you
Okay.
make pies all the time, you might get carpal tunnel.
it's better for your wrist
Yes.
to do this.
So incorporating the butter into the flour is what we call this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cutting it in.
Cutting it in.
Woo!
Wow, that's cool. I do that. I'm glad to know that other people do that.
It's not baking if you don't get flour all over yourself.
That's why you wear an apron.
Wow.
And periodically I need to do this. When I first started making pies, I would just use oil.
Oil.
I was using like rapeseed oil.
Really?
Yeah, and that is just not wonderful. It wasn't flaky, it was so dense.
Oh, but you can do that.
You can do that.
But this is a better way.
This is better.
Butter is better.
Butter is better.
Thank you.
Looks like the water's coming in. The water is at the ready.
Is it pretty cold?
Yeah. Not like super cold.
I'm not too worried about that. It's starting to look right. It starts to look like...
So you need to, yeah, what exactly are you going for here?
About here, I've heard this called like a... I don't think it looks like that though. People have said like, you're going for like a cookie mixture.
Yeah, no, not that.
Not that.
Crumbles.
Crumble.
It's
You
like
want, like-
crumbles.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna be like all... You don't want the butter to be so small. You're gonna...
Right.
Okay. You still want to have a little bit of butter. Yeah, okay. I get it.
Yeah, it should have
Nice.
obviously pieces of butter, and I need a tablespoon. Okay.
Here we go. Now we're putting the water in little by little, or
Little by little.
so 1 tablespoon at a time.
1 tablespoon. Help me keep track.
Yeah.
That was one.
One.
And then you kind of
Help
fluff
us
it
keep
up.
track here on the Two Cat Kitchen. Come along with us.
You fluff it up as you go.
Fluff it up.
Yeah. Okay.
2.
Two,
2.
3. So you're looking for something in particular as far as consistency goes.
I am. We're gonna be around 8 tablespoons. I think probably like,
We'll need some more.
what was that? 3?
Yep.
This is 4.
4. 4.
I'm trying to get all of it a little bit wet with each one, so it's not all just going in one spot.
Pro tip here on the Two Cat Kitchen.
Yeah, and see, cause can you see how it's looking more clumpy now? Cause the
Ah,
water's
it
like
is.
sticking to all the butter.
Yeah, it is. Good point.
4. Was that
5.
This is 5.
5.
Thank you.
Six. Seven.
I think people keep that number in your head. Forget. Or they give up on making pie because they think that like it's just like salted butter. Like you don't have to be too careful. You can put a little too much water in,
Oh, okay.
and it's gonna be okay.
8.
And it's so hard to work if you don't have enough. But you can also have too much. This is
Got it.
starting to look right, but I might put one more in just for fun. Or a little bit of one.
We're going with
Half a
9.
8
tablespoon.
and a half.
8 and a
8.5.
half.
Okay.
That's looking good.
Ah,
There's not like just pieces of flour. Everything's kind of attached to the butter.
got it.
There we go.
Woo.
You got it. A loose mixture. Got nice chunks of butter with flour stuck to it.
Okay.
And we got little kind of curly bits that are more water and flour.
No.
All right. So what do we have here? This is a piece of
Parchment paper.
parchment paper.
Yes. And then it's a double crust, so
Ah,
Just
so you split it in half.
in half. And then I'm gonna, there you go, that much.
Dump it out on the paper. Half of it.
And then I'm gonna smush it.
Oh, that's kind of cool. You use the paper to smush it.
Yeah, because your hands will heat it up, and
Ah.
I imagine it would go really crazy if you tried.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like it.
So now doing this, I think, helps get the flaky layers.
Ah, flaky layers.
If you go to like
Oh,
a real bakery,
yeah,
they have like a machine that like laminates dough,
Oh,
comes
okay.
out, and then they fold it again, and they put it through again.
Yeah.
But here, the butter chunks are staying in there, so they'll kind of get smushed and spread out.
Yeah.
And when the crust bakes, they melt, and you get like nice crispy layers.
And I just do it until,
You can see the butter.
yeah, it kind of starts to feel like it's gonna stick to the parchment if I keep going, I guess.
Okay.
And then you leave it all smushed
Smush.
and wrap it up,
Wrap it up.
and
Yep.
it's gonna go in the fridge
All
for
right.
rest.
Oh, so in the fridge.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, we're back, and it's time to do stuff with apples. Bryce is going to talk us through this. What do we got? Oh, different kinds of apples. Right?
Yeah,
Does
bunch
it
of different
matter,
kinds
or-
of apples. The main thing is it's nice to have some green apples like Granny Smith's, which we don't really have right now, but their flavor kind of holds up better under cooking, so they don't just taste like sweet.
Okay.
You get more appliness, but this will probably be good. Got a couple yellows, a couple Macintosh, Galas maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, good apples.
Okay, and we're gonna, and you obviously
So-
you already washed them, so now we're gonna
Yeah. Just slice them up.
slice them up.
And yeah, so we pre-cook the apples for the
Okay.
pie. And one of the nice things about pies is that if you have kind of slightly damaged or otherwise funkier apples, you can use those.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, and the end of it, you're not going to really see the apples that much.
No.
And
This is a good size. We're really just browning the apples
Yeah.
to get that like caramely flavor. Yeah.
is that something everybody does, or is that your own
don't know.
private touch?
I think that might be a us thing.
Oh,
but
nice.
you can cut 'em pretty thin for this.
All right, thin cut. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And they release some juices while they're
Yeah. Yeah.
browning
And
too.
and we'll also add the spices and everything in to the mix. So yeah, we kind of like it because it makes the inside softer
Oh,
and yeah, gives everything like a nice, slightly caramelized cooked apple flavor. So I guess it's kind of personal preference if you like an apple pie that's like. It's hard. What we found is that it's hard to like get the balance right when you're cooking the pie to like get the crust nice and crispy and well done, and then also like really cook the insides.
oh, okay. I can see that. Yeah.
It kind of takes to just
That's the
straight
tricky
up
part.
cook the apples in the oven. Takes a long time.
Well,
And
yeah, if you make a squash pie, you roast the squash first, and pot pie, you do that. And if you're making blueberry pie, you cook that down with some of the cornstarch.
Oh,
But I don't know if specifically people do that with apple pie.
right.
Probably.
Okay, so we're done with the cutting up of the apples. Now, the question I had is there any particular number of apples? But you just want to make sure you have enough, right? I
We
mean,
just did 8, I think.
eight.
That was 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 8 reasonably sized apples.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make a full pie. This is a pretty deep pie pan.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so
I
for
can
scale.
kind of eyeball.
That's what we're going
How many
for.
apples cooked down might fit in there?
Okay.
Yeah. So,
All right. So now we're going to cook the apples. And do you add anything to them? Oh, you said a little bit of
Yeah,
sugar.
so we're gonna add a bunch of stuff to it. We
Okay.
got some of our spices and whatnot over here.
Oh, okay. You got
We
a lot
put
of
in
stuff.
a little bit of cider vinegar, a
Okay.
little bit of maple syrup, ginger, nutmeg, cinnamon, allspice, and clove.
Oh, I guess you'd really do that a lot. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we kind of just throw our spices into stuff and eyeball it and do it based on the smell and what we know. So we'll try and I think we should we'll just use the measuring thing and we'll figure out how much after the fact. It'll
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah. That sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
All right.
Right.
So
It's getting hot. That butter is.
yeah,
Get it in there.
we have
Oh.
nice skillet. It's kind of pretty hot. Got some brown butter in it. Oh, here we go. Toss your apples in there. Don't put all of them in.
Okay.
You want to overcrowd.
Yeah, you don't want to crowd your pan too much because once again we're just kind of trying to brown them up a little bit. Get them started to be softened. Get them nice caramelly apple stuff.
Don't crowd your pan.
No,
No,
never.
you won't get a good brown if you do that. I usually sprinkle the spices as I go, and then once
Yeah.
they're all in the bowl, I put more.
Then
and
we
mix it all
toss some
together
more in
again.
there. Yeah. So let's see. Where's it?
Right here.
We're done with that, right?
You can have that.
Let's all use this for the syrup.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very little.
I know. So I can do multiple. So
Oh,
let's see
maple.
what a teaspoon of maple syrup looks like in here.
All right.
I feel like you're gonna end up wanting like 3 tablespoons. I guess you're doing it as
Yeah,
a-
that's what I'm doing for the.
All right.
That's
So we're
plenty for
adding.
that. Yeah. And you can always add more. So we'll go with that for now.
That's probably
And now, what is that you're adding?
probably an eighth of a teaspoon of cinnamon. I like to add
Ah,
a
smells
little.
good.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's good.
They're looking good.
All right. Next up, it's like about a teaspoon or so, or maybe.
Last, yeah. We got like a
I'm not keeping track
heavy quarter. I'll write it down. You think you put an eighth of a teaspoon of cinnamon in
so far.
so far?
I feel like I'm ready to get these in the bowl.
Are you?
I'll follow your lead, I guess.
Okay.
We don't usually cook together that much. Usually I make the dessert and you make the main event.
Well, throw the rest of the spices in then. A little bit of clove.
I usually kind of only do the cinnamon while they're in the pan and then leave
Okay.
the rest to the end.
And that was
So I don't
just
get
some.
confused. That's a tiny bit of nothing.
All right.
What was it? Time.
That's cool. We'll make it simpler on ourselves.
Yeah,
There we go.
because the cinnamon, I feel like we're not gonna go overboard on cinnamon, but
More butter.
I wasn't sure where I left this.
More butter.
Right in front of me.
Yeah.
All right. Rest of the apples going in.
Not quite. Looks like we're doing about a third.
Oh, okay.
Third, maybe less. Maybe we should have stuck some more in that first one. That was a little heavy.
I usually
So-
go so much lighter.
It's the same
Yeah.
deal with these
Yeah,
guys, right?
I
Okay.
get them like crispy.
All right, so we've finished cooking the apples. So what's the next step? Oh, and actually, you mentioned about using extra apples.
Yeah, which we probably didn't really follow this rule right now, but I would say cook more than you need, because then you can make sure you have a nice plump full pie, and you can do lots of stuff with cooked apples. So they're always good. As far as spices and seasoning and all of that, like, it smells good. We kind of just know what we like for how much to put in, and then another important thing is that we feel is to have a little taste as you're cooking stuff.
Yeah, so that's
good point. Rick, here's an apple for you.
Put a warm apple in your hand.
Thank you.
There you go. Yum. Buttery, warm, spicy apple.
Don't even.
I'm gonna say a little more.
You don't even need the pie for that.
Yeah. See, that's why it never hurts to have extra cooked apple, and I really love ginger, so I'm putting more ginger.
Yeah, I could use more ginger, I think.
Yeah.
We have fresh ginger too.
And that would make it really crazy, but that would be good.
All right, so it's time that the pie crust has come out of the oven. Not out of the oven, out of the refrigerator.
It's been an hour.
It's been about an hour.
Resting.
Okay.
So I'm gonna dust it with a little bit of flour.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna roll it.
I'm gonna roll it out.
Oh, also I let it like hang out for like 10 minutes before I started rolling.
Okay, so out of the refrigerator, let it rest for 10 minutes, and then rolling.
Rolling.
Do you do anything to the rolling pin before you roll it, or you just...
No, I dusted this. Some people will
okay.
dust this. Some people will even freeze this so that it's not warming up the dough at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we have the steel one. I thought that was a neat idea.
Oh.
But I didn't think it really made much of a difference then.
No. Cool. It's taking shape.
Yeah.
So pies have always been round, right? Do you know why pies are round? Why do they make them square?
What? Why don't they make them
Why
square?
are they round?
Uh-oh, we have a visitor.
Oh no.
No, we don't.
Oh yeah, I
Kinda
can jump
jump
right
right
onto
on
the computer. It looks inviting.
You can
It's
walk
a
on
small rectangle on a larger rectangle.
You can walk on it, Kitty, if you want.
No, she can't. She needs boundaries. Alright. That's looking like it'll probably fit.
Okay, looking good.
I'm peeling it
Putting it on the...
into our
Put it
very
in the
deep
thingy.
pie dish.
Pie dish.
And I'm kind of pressing it to the bottom.
It is the two-cat kitchen after all, which is good.
We could never have another cat at the same time as her because she feels very aggressive about other cats.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah.
Sounded kind of aggressive.
She can handle the dogs, but she couldn't
two-dog
handle there
kitchen.
being another cat. Yeah, it's a two-dog kitchen in our house.
No one thought of it.
No, I didn't.
Missed opportunity. That's nice.
You can put that in the fridge.
That's gonna be great.
That one's ready to go.
Okay, so then...
Dusting the
that's
next one for
bottom.
the top crust.
Top crust.
Top crust. I'll dust this because this is... Oh, she's claiming your stuff.
Yeah. You didn't like that very major.
Sitting on top of it. Same deal, rolling it out into a circle, not a square.
I imagine it'd be hard to take the corners out if it was a square.
Okay. I'll give you that.
I think cakes might...
They also cook better when they're round
Oh, is that...
because it's even. It's all
More
the way
even
around.
heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And you got a big, thick thing with a bunch of stuff in the middle. You probably want that pretty even. Rick has abandoned his production duties to photograph our cat.
Okay, so now that one's good.
Good. That's going to be the top.
That's going to be the top.
All right.
We cover it up so it doesn't get dry and put it on top of the other one.
Yes.
So then they got to sit again in the refrigerator?
For half an hour.
Okay. Okay, we're back at the Two Cat Kitchen, well, Aria and Bryce's kitchen. And the pie crust has been resting in the refrigerator for another half an hour or so. And now something's gonna happen.
Yes.
What's
this is
happening?
gonna
Poking
get
it?
some holes.
A little bit of poking.
And then it's just gonna go in the oven. We have it at 400 for like, I don't know, 5 minutes.
Some amount of time. A little bit of a pre-bake.
But I found it to sink anyway with the weights.
Okay.
So now we'll put the filling in.
All right,
And
so
the
now it's
filling
ready.
Being squished into it will make the sides go back up.
Oh, okay.
This is what I notice. Especially with like a big pot pie. See?
Oh,
You
I
squish
see.
it,
Yeah.
but it's-
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I think this is actually a very appropriate amount of apples.
Yeah, it looks like about right, huh?
I like to have a little mound, but it's fine to have it not so stuffed too. Right.
All right, the apples are in.
Yes. And I could be fancy and do like a whole lattice top, but I'm not gonna.
Okay. Just a regular top.
Just a regular top with some slits in it for a little
Straight top.
airflow.
And this, so the top now has been refrigerated too, along with the bottom when you were doing it.
Yep.
So everything's refrigerated. And that will give you the flaky crust.
Yeah, if you don't refrigerate it at all, it won't be flaky and it will just shrink when you cook it.
Oh, okay.
Because I think the resting time is so the gluten, after you move it all around, it can relax again.
Okay. And that helps it from not shrink.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't want it to shrink so tiny. Okay, that looks like a pie. And then I'll cut a little.
Oh, so the steam can come out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. A little pattern.
I
Maybe.
like to do 8.
Nice.
Just like that. Alright, where did these go? And then it's going to go back in and it's going to actually bake the whole time. Some people do an egg wash. Bryce
Oh.
doesn't really like it when I do it.
Okay.
Egg wash.
Back in the oven.
Back in the oven at 400.
And about how long does it cook?
I'm going to check it in like 20 minutes.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll be back in 20 minutes. Pie is coming out. Ooh. Steamy. There it is. Wow, that's beautiful. Unbelievable.
Looks good.
That's a heck of a pie. So how long was it in the oven totally?
I put it in at probably like 40 minutes.
About 40 minutes.
40 minutes total.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Snacking.
we're gonna slice into the pie. Here we go.
Been a very short rest.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Flaky.
It's gonna
Is
be
there any
great.
technique to cutting it, or no? You just-
Not particularly. You might notice a slight sawing here and kind of pushing in. And,
Okay, try not to disrupt it
right.
too much.
Beautiful.
Hold on.
You're in charge.
Be patient.
Let's see.
Is it beautiful?
Yes.
This is the part I have trouble with.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We caught some of the other crust. That's fine.
Oh no.
It's gonna
It's okay to have a messy piece.
be yeah, that was going to be for you, Rick, but
No, give him a good piece.
okay.
We'll have the messy. Yeah. Oh god, cut that side. There we go.
Ooh, beautiful.
Yay.
Great.
There's the
Thank you.
Steaming
The pretty
hot
piece.
apple pie. Yay.
ooh, hooray! It's going to be very, very hot.
Yeah. No, it's not super hot.
No, good.
Oh boy, this is fantastic.
Hi.
Unbelievable. This is the best apple pie I've ever had.
Wow, yay.
Unbelievable. The spices are just right.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good pie.
We never make one pie that tastes like the next because mine are always slightly different. That was a good call on more ginger. Love ginger.
All right, well, I think we're going to wrap things up. Thanks again, guys. This is fantastic. Thanks for sharing your apple pie with us on the Two Cat Kitchen.
All right.